A busy docket today in D.C. U.S. Trade Representative Robert Lighthizer testifying in front of the House this morning, saying the United States is making progress with China, but still much needs to be done.
We are making real progress. If we can complete this effort, and again I say if, and can reach a satisfactory solution to the all-important outstanding issue of enforceability, as well as some other concerns, we might be able to have an agreement that helps us turn the corner in our economic relationship with China.
So pretty sort of couched language there. Throw this into the mix. And joining us now from Charlotte, North Carolina, Cornerstone Wealth Director of Investments, Cliff Hodge. So when I say throw it into the mix of all the other issues that we've been talking about that have been affecting the markets here, how important is the trade issue at this point? As we have frequently talked about in recent days, it seems to be baked into the cake here that we are going to see some kind of deal.
Great to be with you this morning. And trade is really front and center. So the markets are focused on two factors, the first being a trade deal with China, and the second being the Fed. And the fact that we have both Chairman Powell and Ambassador Lighthizer on Capitol Hill today should make for an interesting day for sure.
Let me ask you this, because we understand the volatility. You're taking advantage of this. You see an opportunity now to sell, take some profit, to gear up for the next rise?
Yeah, so what we've been doing is actually lightening up on the way up. Markets are up roughly 18% or so from the December lows. And we think markets are ignoring the fundamental macro data in favor of trade in China, which has been starting to roll over. You know, you're seeing that globally, and you're seeing that in some of the survey data here domestically as well. So we think markets are ignoring that at their own peril.
Hey, Cliff, Scott Gamm here. I'm curious what you think the next catalyst for this market is, given the 18% rise since Christmas Eve. I mean, would it be trade? We've already heard assurances from the Fed that they'll calm down this year, but you know, what will bring this market higher?
So we're really looking at GDP, which is going to come out on Thursday, and then the ISM PMI numbers are going to come out on Friday. So we think the next catalyst from here is going to be macro data. Consensus for fourth quarter 2018 GDP is about 2.3%, and we actually think we're going to come in light. So if that were to happen and catalyze a intermediate to short-term pullback, you know, we'd be looking to opportunistically reposition ourselves more defensively.
Are we still sort of, though, in the bad news is good news situation? In other words, if indeed we do see light economic data, doesn't that just further cement the perception that the Fed is not going to move again this year, and that in theory would be good for stocks? So you might not get your pullback buying opportunity.
Anything is possible in markets, and certainly the ball is in the Fed's court. But when we look at, again, the macro data, we see fundamentals, growth, demand starting to slow. We're seeing inflation expectations starting to tick up a bit. And so when you've got downward pressure on growth and demand and upward pressure on input costs in the form of labor and material costs rising, you know, we think that sets up for a drag on earnings. So, you know, it wouldn't really surprise us to see low to potentially even negative earnings growth in 2019, which should present opportunities going forward.
All right, Cliff, thank you. Cliff Hodge is Cornerstone Wealth Director of Investments. Appreciate it.